Welcome to our October Board Education meeting. Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance. I would entertain a motion to adopt our agenda of the evening. Thank you, Ms. Harn. Do I have a second? Mr. Anderson, all in favor, show of hands. Thank you. This participation statements.
Thank you, Madam President. The district has not received any request for citizens' participation per board policy DDH.
All right, this update, our military liaison update. Ms. Lummer is in D.C. today, and so the representative is not here. So, all right, district announcements.
Thank you, Madam President. First of all, I'd like to welcome Parcher and thank staff to the Board of Education meeting this evening. We look forward to hearing more about our work later on in the program. Thank you for the overwhelming positive support of homecoming parade and window decorating contest. Congratulations to Perimeter Center for winning a business window decorating contest and the Waynesville 6th Grade Center for winning a float contest, first time ever in the Waynesville 6th Grade Center history. And we look forward to presenting them with trophy later on this evening. Military Appreciation Night will be held this Friday, October 18th. All active duty service members and military retirees with military ID will be admitted free to home varsity football game. Parent-teacher conferences will be held October 21st, 22nd, 24th. Details will be able to details on the district website. Waynesville students will perform the production game TRs at Wayne High School Auditorium at 7 p.m. October 24, 25, and 26 at 2:30 p.m. on October 27th, 2:30 on Sunday. I encourage everybody to go to the high school play. They're absolutely wonderful, and I have no this will be the same. There will be no school on Friday, October 25th. Waynesville High School student organizations will host a trick or treat on October 29th, 5 to 7:30 in the Waynesville High School parking lot, and there will be no school on November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. And our students, again, have the entire week of Thanksgiving, November 25th through 29th. And I would also just to remind the board that Lebanon School District lost a student here recently and day the memorial service. So we certainly think about Lebanon School District and the families and thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Wells. Next up, have our consent agenda. I would entertain a motion to approve. Mr. Anson, thank you. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Ms. Kidd. All in first, hands. Next up, have our spotlight on education. First up is Mrs. Justice Partridge Elementary.
Evening, and thank you, Madam President. Our spotlight on education for class and staff at Partridge is Miss Linda Martin. She is the essence of an amazing paraprofessional. You can come on up. She brings energy to Partridge that is welcoming and positive. She works very closely with teachers to give support to students who struggle to be successful in school and classroom setting. She cares deeply for each and every student at Partridge and is always striving to find strategies to help those that need a little extra support and attention. She's positive, kind, and friendly in encountering any situation she's in. Often she has multiple students in varying situations on her plate at once, and continuously she is able to do her best to give each student what they need to be successful in school setting. We are blessed to have her on our staff at Partridge. Our slide on education for the certified staff is Mr. Furman. She is a valuable asset to our Partridge family, and she serves as our English language learners. She always has mild and kind words and greet everyone she encounters. She approaches every situation with an open mind and is continuously thinking what is best for kids in the decision-making process. Anytime a teacher has an ill concern regarding a student, she meets with them as soon as possible to see how she can help. She always has a smile on her face, a positive attitude, and conducts herself in a very professional manner. She is consistently striving to ensure students have all the tools that they need to feel successful and accomplish the goal. They're not a more kind, gracious, or generous person, and we're excited that she's a part of the Partridge family. And I also want to add that she services my ability and fair the other justice. So thank you. And then the team I want to recognize tonight is the 5th grade PLD team, which made up of Kate Morris and Magman. They have successfully risen to meet the many challenges off base up elementary. They have enthusiastically collaborated with one another to develop lessons and strategies that are strongly rooted in the curriculum. They are always looking for strategies to aid students in their lessons and help students show growth on standard. They're making great strides, showing tremendous growth as teachers and as a team. In ELA, your long standard parts of speech, their classes are 70% proficient in advance. And in math, the team has shown growth from pairing and ordering fractions and decimals from 12% on pretest to 50% DF2. Please join me in celebrating our 5th grade team.
Wonderful job, thank you. Next up, we have another Miss Justice with Painter Elementary.
Thank you, Board of Education, for letting us recognize our individuals. Set Lund, our facilitator of 1st grade, going to start us off with winners.
Okay, the Board of Education Spotlight, our classified staff member, we give to Mr. Anthony Barosa. Anthony has worked in the district as custodian for the past 4 years. He started Freedom BUC Wood, now working hard to keep our environment clean air. Our staff members notice these quality about Mr. Barosa. Anthony goes above and beyond his full duties when it comes to our school's community, from keeping our parents in the right spaces at our pickup, keeping our grounds neat, clean, and from trash, giving our special needs students individualized handshakes, attention, and he is truly a genuine stand-up team player who is willing to help when and where he can. Mr. Anthony keeps our building safe at all times, ensuring the door is locked each day. The restrooms are spotless and are free as he comes them multiple times a day, and he is always willing to help out anyone in need. He's building relationships with students and teaching them to be leaders there. We are glad to recognize Anthony Barosa for their Board of Education Spotlight. The Thayer Board of Education Spotlight for certified staff at the elementary is awarded to Kennedy Beecham. Mrs. Beecham transitioned from first grade teacher, library, media specialist, nothing of amazing. Her love of reading, her passion toward learning has greatly impacted their students. She is in the 8th year of teaching and is working with students in grades 8 through 5th. She is equipped students literacy knowledge, coach them in some goal for accelerated reader, and play a major role in steering their elementary toward lighthouse status at the end of the 23-24 school year. Tonight I have the privilege and honor to recognize Miss Kennedy Beecham as the Board of Education Spotlight for their entry.
Tonight, I have the privilege to recognize the collaborative team, and that honor goes to Kim Conley and Holly Miller. This is our second grade team, Mrs. Conley and Ms. Miller. These two educators have worked hard to become a team to ensure proficient and capable learners are ready for the next grade level. Their strengths are complementary to each other, resulting in fun and fresh look at being engaged teachers. During the first quarter, the teachers have made excellent progress in the fun standard. So according to the data in the standard last year, the pre-test scores were 36.30%, and students grew to proficiency on the scale at 91% by March of 2024. These students, who are now third graders, are reading at grade level. The second grade teachers have recognized the students coming into second grade have a strong knowledge of phonics skills based on a UI reading program that was implemented last year. On September 4th, they gave pre-test on the phonics standard, and students were at 51%. On October 9th, after giving the first FA1, students scored 70%. They have accomplished the gains by utilizing EI strategies, do, and hands-on activities. The team continues to collaborate with student success, and we flex screen next week with students who remediate and enrich in the areas of reading comprehension and writing. Tonight, I have the privilege and honor to recognize the second grade team to receive the Board of Education Spotlight.
Thank you very much, Patricia Thayer. Next, we have to go with staff recognition.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, I'd like to recognize Ms. Angela Hum, the sixth grade center, as a first grade project recipient. Classroom Project One School One Book allows every student at the sixth grade center to see a copy of book Hoot by Carl Hyman. At the conclusion of the book, have a parent night for families to showcase their work with book. This is an outstanding way to reinforce reading instruction, increase personal involvement, bridge the school connection, and build a true community of readers.
Next up, we have our Tiger Spirit Award, Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Madam President. It's an honor tonight to present Mr. Ken Schnicker with this year's homecoming trophy for with first place in our homecoming competition. So this is super special because it's Ms. Schnicker's first year at the Waynesville sixth grade center and their second win. So take back and celebrate, Mr. Schnicker. Congratulations.
Our October Transportation Employee of the Month, Mr. Trump.
Good evening. This evening I'll be recognizing our October Employee of the Month. Before I do that, I just want to once again congratulate those that were mentioned earlier today. We have so much talent in this school. This starts from the top and go all the way down. So today, I would like to recognize Miss Arden Smallberg. She is a bus driver and has worked at the school district for 17 years. She does a regular run and also sped out. Probably the last couple of weeks, we had an incident on a bus, and always this thing goes as you would like. Not once did she go up. She used the resources she had, was going to the school, going to the parents, knew how much the kid wanted to be in the bus, and that turned on party. As long as I know in Elaine, she always put others before herself. She's a main part of our team. I love her to death. I just couldn't do it without her. So I'd like to thank Arlene for using transportation for getting different children's lives.
Next up, we have community recognition to go forth.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Amanda Quinn from the city of Waynesville for their continued support of the homecoming parade.
Under discussion items, we have job descriptions first read. Dr. Forth.
Thank you, Madam President. The following attached proposed job descriptions are presented for your review as first reading. 3.051, High School Head and Director. 2.2.2, Instructional Support Server Specialist. Administration will request approval at the November Board Education meeting.
Are there any questions for Dr. Forth at the time? If not, our beginning of the year star report, Mr. Ensign, Mrs. Long.
Thank you, President. Good evening. Tonight, I'm going to share with you data from the beginning of the STAR reading and math assessments. These assessments will serve as baseline monitor student growth and make adjustments to instructional planning as the year goes along. Under the teen and learning focus area, just C are 6 student learning goals. 2 of those goals represent also apply STAR reading and STAR math assessments. Before I went to the data, I want to talk a little bit about the STAR assessment updates. Results are updated the norms for the 24-25 school year. The old norms come from the 2018-2019 school year, which we know was pre-pandemic. Our norms come from the 22-23 school year, which we know post-pandemic. What proficiency look like pre-pandemic is different than what proficiency looks like pandemic. To adjust this, we know the early literacy, reading, math assessments based on score from the 22-20 school year. Why is it important? The percentage of students meeting benchmark grade level may have a slight or considerable increase for the beginning of the year 2024 STAR report compared to previous years. Better along with prior data, state adjustments to what districts are to use as the benchmark cut score. Look at the reports, you will notice the scales for data not affected this reading. Our early literacy assessments utilized to assess early literacy skills for kindergarten and first grade students. As kindergarten and group of students are all new to school, year-to-year comparison is difficult. These scores serve as baseline and growth will be monitored throughout the year. This year, 54% of kindergarten students at the beginning of the year benchmark. Students in first grade will only take the STAR early literacy assessment and not both the STAR reading and early lit as have in previous years. The state only requires schools to share early lit data with them for students in first grade to meet Senate Bill City 1 requirements. This year, 50% of first grade students met the beginning of the year benchmark. The STAR reading test assesses students in the areas of reading. All students in grades 2 through 10 are assessed. STAR reading considers on level to the 40th percentile or higher. This means scoring more than 4% of students in the norm group. When we report out, we do not use the 40th percentile benchmark. We use the 50th percentile, as 50th percentile is a better correlation with math and EC performance. Number on this slide measure the number of students who met the 50th percentile level or higher, as opposed to those who did not. This is not an average efficient scores. In subsequent slides, we will look at average scale scores and average level equivalencies. This slide presents the percentage of students who met our benchmarks at each elementary building. This slide picks the average STAR reading score by grade level. Those schools have remained fairly consistent with last year beginning their schools, with the exception of first grade, who now takes the STAR early test. This slide shows average scale score in reading by building at the elementary level. This slide shows the average grade level equivalency at each grade level. At the elementary level, the average grade equivalency clearly remains flat or slight. In grades 6 to 10, their beginning of the grade level equivalent scores increased significantly. The data on the slide shows the average grade level equivalency building for each elementary. The STAR math assesses students in areas of mathematics. All students in grade 1 to 8 are assessed. The percentage of students meeting the benchmark at grade level increased with the STAR at the extent of first grade. We are working with STAR to get better understanding why first grade saw such a significant decrease from previous. This chart shows the percentage of students meeting the STAR benchmark at each elementary building. This slide picks the average STAR math scale score by grade level. The list on the right shows scale coordinate to meet the benchmark. Scores are very comparable at the beginning of their score from previous year, with a slight increase in grades 6 through 8. This slide shows the average scale score in math by building the elementary level. This slide shows the average grade level equivalency at the grade level. At the elementary level, the average grade level equivalency typically remains flat. In grades 6 through 10, their beginning of the year grade level equivalency scores increased significantly. This data on this slide shows average grade level equivalency by being for each elementary building. The data intensive report serves as a baseline data for the year. We will be focused on student growth as the year progresses. Teachers closely monitor student performance on climate activities and assessment. Identify areas students need additional support in so that timely interventions can be implemented. Building and district teams closely monitor student learning needs so that adjustments can be made for better support students' learning needs. This does not mean that we will solely focus closing gaps. We will continue to share implementation, grade level district curriculum to ensure students are master grade level expectations. I'll take any questions at the time.
Are there any questions, Mr. Henson? Okay, thank you very much. Next up, we have transportation update, Ms. Harrison and Ms. Johnston.
First time use clicker. Okay, so this evening I'll be going over pretty much updates over our department. I'm going to give you a little information on some things that maybe you're not aware of. Currently, we have 53 CDL licensed bus drivers. That means they are licensed and are able to drive a school bus without a licensed driver on a bus. We have 48 bus aides, much an aid for every route. And I will go over that here a little bit, what benefits are that. We currently have 3 mechanics and 1 mechanic that's an apprentice for WC. And we have 4 certified driver trainers. In order to become certified, you have to go to a class in Warrensburg or a week. Without that training, we wouldn't be able to get drivers. We train them drivers on site. A lot of schools that don't have that, and they have to send drivers elsewhere to train. What is required to become a CDL licensed driver? First, you must, in a work school district, like any employee, must pass a background check. You must, it's like getting a driver's license for a car. You must obtain a permit in order to get the driving skills necessary. To get the permit, you have to have CDL general knowledge, passenger school bus endorsements, different tests you have to take. Regardless of how amazing you are at driving when you start here, you are required to train for a minimum of 2 weeks, and that started about 2 years ago. That's something fast. Most of our drivers go beyond the 2 weeks. I would say on average about a month's time frame. We train them until they have the skills needed to pass the test. They go to, once they get their permit and do a minimum of 2 weeks drive train, they go to the highway patrol and route to take their actual driving or their tests. They also pass annual physical, must be drug free. We have quarterly random drug tests. I have a CDL, I can be chosen in that train. All the training that we have is entered into an ELDT database. Pretty much, if I say work for another school district, and that training, they will know what that person knows, what they've done. You can't just get a job at school and based off of just your word. They have to have the LD training in order to get CDL. All right, what is it required to become a school bus aide? It's similar to a paraprofessional. Must pass a background check and become an employee. Some of the training that our bus aides receive are wheelchair lift, securing wheelchairs. This year, I think, is probably our highest number of wheelchair students. I think we have 7 or 8 students in chairs we are transporting currently. Seats, like a booster seat, the 5 harness, they have to learn how to install those in the bus, how to adjust them for the size of the student. Student management skills, to do a SPED early childhood and regular routes. This bus could be riding any of those. The different students on the bus require different skills. All of them, I think one's easier than the other. Working as a team with Drive, we have 3 bus aid trainers. How to become a bus aid trainer? There's no official certification for that. These aides have been there for a while. They're very familiar with what it's required to do the job as a bus aid. They do a 2-hour onboarding class, something we started. There's criteria that they must meet and sign off, and that they completed those that training. And they will also spend a week on SPED out with another bus aid and driver, learn with the wheelchair and the much trained there. Route. We currently have 4 or 5 routes. 7 of those routes are SPED routes, 3 early childhood, 35 regular routes. Transport on average about 4,000 students daily. Last year, I think we did about 704,000 miles for the year. Average of 3,600 miles a day is what we travel. With 60 buses in our fleet. So we have 1 routes. We also have buses for trips. If we have a bus needs some repairs, it's going to take more than that afternoon or that between routes. We have spares for that. Every has a driver and aide. Another thing that I think is beneficial since I've been in the department is all of us have 5 cameras on them. Okay, so though we have 3 cameras inside us that see what happens. It shows the driver, it shows students, and see between the seats. Has night vision. If all lights are out in the morning, can't see nothing, you can still see what's going on. Every one of those cameras have audio. So have students saying or doing things shouldn't be, that thing be picked up. When we go to the schools, tell the students that it's there for your safety and drive. People are doing things they're not supposed to, it'll catch it. People are doing what they're supposed to, we'll all catch it. We have 1 camera on that sees what the driver sees. So if we have an incident, say a car were to out and have a bus or a student, if we had an issue with a student crossing the street or something like that, catch that. We also have a camera on the side where the stop signs are. So if we have cars that, You have cars that are passing while the sign's out. A lot of times it will push that so. All right. This year started the new routing program. Transact is our current routing software program. Probably one of the biggest changes are Parent App BusQuest. Some similar information that got with Ride 360. We have this more accurate real-time information. It would send a message out to parents before if a bus was running behind. There were some issues there. They got the information or not. We can send messages out to people just on that specific route. We send messages out to everybody. We send messages just to parents. If they're running behind, anything like that, it gives bus stop location and times on the app. And the bus location, where the bus is within a boundary. We're just about to complete that. All of our buses will have tablets on them, which have GPS and the same information. Now, somebody, a mechanic, when I would finish driver when we were short, see when your route sheet and your stop say Heather and Helix. Okay, where's Heather and Helix? You have bus aids on the bus. Not only am I not really sure where I'm going, but now I'm doing student issues on the bus. It was very stressful. With GPS, I drove out today, and it said in 200 feet, your stop will be on the right. Student, be getting off the bus. At some point, we'd have peers on also, but something the sub driver, if you had to get off at stops that they should be getting off or anything like that, it's very valuable information, especially for sub drivers. Some of our celebrations in the spring earned Fleet Excellence Award, which 90% are better. The last thing there, and I would like to elaborate on this, is I would like to thank the members for your continued support, allowing the Transportation Department to have the necessary resources to transport students safely. When you think about the operation and what goes into it, the number of buses that go out every day, I would say one of the huge things that helped. I've been to conferences and stuff like that where people struggle to get drivers, let alone bus aids. And because of your blessing as far as have buses on there, I can tell you from my experience, if you are a new driver, you come in and you have a bus aid, a lot of been on that before, they're familiar with the route. You have that. You have the GPS. But with the buses on those, I noticed myself a decrease in the number of discipline. And the reason why I can say that, say if you're a new driver, I'm on Y-way. There's not a lot of shoulders or to pull over. You got kids back. Usually doesn't start, they start yelling all of a sudden. It'll be up. As a driver, it might take me a couple minutes before I can find a place to pull over. But now that I have a bus on there, they go back and address some of the discipline issues we have while I'm driving. So I have noticed, I think we had last 2 fights on the bus, I know of. So having that resource on there, having the GPS on there, having the support that we have from you, and I want to thank the principals, the discipline. There's a whole lot of people in this process that without their help, without their cooperation, without their support, it started top, like I said, wouldn't be able to do what we do today. So I'll make sure that you know that some decisions you made that we are thankful. You have it different. You talk to lots of schools that are sitting in a situation where I think having the aides, having the support, starting up with board members, that makes a huge difference. If you have questions, I'll be more than happy to answer anything, any concerns.
Mr. Johnson, it's definitely a pleasure to make sure that you and your team have the tools to work safe. 3,700 miles a day, that's a lot, so thank you. Question for Ms. Johnson?
Mr. Trond, you talk a lot about safety. How would you characterize compliance from your driver with the school at the bus stops, the stop sign? Do your drivers report many violations?
Yes, sir. We have some that are more frequent. I think some of it has to do with maybe parents not being aware. I would say an area familiar with roundabouts in Waynesville to Dollar General. Is that mid lane? I think a lot of people in the bus stop here, they think that lane here, they don't have to stop. So I think some of it might be lack of knowledge, knowing what rules are. But we have firms that turn in. Driver will come back and say, I had this vehicle, run my stop sign. And not one of those, they just pull the sign out as they're driving by. We're taking it stop. Kids are, coming to the bus. And we'll consent that to the highway patrol. Usually want a video footage if we have it, the license plate number. They will issue tickets for that if somebody is caught and they have the correct information. That's definitely, like with our routing, we make sure we just stop that aren't on corner, not crossing busy intersections with one crossing. You don't have to. There's a lot of thought that goes into it. And started way before my time, back to Emma, and a lot of them back then. We used to have some of the same practice we use in determining stops. But safe, definitely, you can't reach enough, whether in the schools or on the buses. So.
Agree. Very unfortunate here, but
Yeah.
hopefully we'll continue to get better compliance with that.
I think, Marianne, put that information out again this year to kind of let people know what the rules are, what processes are, kind of stuff. But so many different scenarios, around out, somebody, and being sure that when we see somebody that doing something like that we respond professionally, make sure we're doing everything right, so.
Other questions, Mr. Trump? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Next, we have action item, Board Policy DB revision, Dr. Forth.
Thank you, Madam President. Attached for board consideration and adoption is following revised board policy GE, staff health and safety. The administration requests the approval of above policy as presented.
I would encourage to enter a motion to approve. There are no questions. Thank you, Ms. Pondren. Have a second. Thank you, Mr. Kidd. All in favor, show hands. Next up, have our October 24 district plus Ms. Darson.
Thank you, Madam President. The minister recommend motion to declare used, damaged, and outdated items and equipment surplus property as presented.
right, questions for Mr. Harrison? Now I would entertain a motion to approve. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Chair was second. Thank you. All in favor, show of hands. All right, this time we're going to end a closed session as allowed by RSO 610-021, Section Legal Action, Section 3, Hiring, Firing, Disciplining, or Motion Employee, and Section 13, Individual Personnel Records Performance Rings. Motion to end into closed session. Thank you, Ms. Arndt. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Gilling. All in favor, roll call.
Yes.
Thank you. We are in closed.